This border didn't grow over time. It appeared almost overnight. One day, people crossed freely, visited family, went to work, lived their lives. The next day, they couldn't. And for nearly 30 years, that line didn't just divide land. It divided lives. Welcome to Fascination Reality, where we explore the hidden psychology behind places that shaped human behavior. If you're drawn to stories like this, consider subscribing. Because today, we're not just looking at a border. We're exploring what happens when a line becomes a barrier between entire worlds. Section 1. The line that changed everything. In 1961, something changed overnight. Barbed wire appeared across streets. Railways were cut. Roads were blocked. What used to be a connection became a separation. Families were split. Friends were divided. And everyday routines were interrupted without warning. At first, it didn't look permanent. A temporary measure. A political decision. But as days turned into weeks, and weeks into years, the temporary became reality. Concrete replaced wire. Walls replaced roads. Watchtowers replaced freedom. And slowly, a simple border transformed into a system of control. Section 2. When a border becomes a wall. A border is meant to define space, to separate countries, to organize territory. But this was different. This border wasn't just a line. It was a barrier designed to prevent movement, to stop people from leaving. And that changes everything. Because movement is fundamental to being human. We move toward opportunity, toward safety, toward connection. When that movement is restricted, it creates pressure. Psychological pressure. The kind you can't see, but constantly feel. Every road that ended in a wall became a reminder. Every train track that stopped abruptly reinforced the same message. You cannot go further. Section 3. The psychology of restriction. When people lose the ability to move freely, something shifts internally. Not immediately, but gradually. Your world becomes smaller. Not physically, but mentally. Options disappear. Choices narrow. possibilities fade. And over time, what once felt like a restriction starts to feel normal. This is how systems sustain themselves. Not just through control, but through adaptation. People adjust. They create routines within limits. They build lives inside boundaries. But deep down, the awareness never fully disappears. The knowledge that something exists beyond the line, and that you cannot reach it. Section 4. The invisible weight. Standing near a place like this today, you don't just see history. You feel something. Even though the guards are gone, even though the system no longer exists, the structure remains. The fences, the empty watchtowers, the cleared strips of land, they carry a presence because they were designed not just to stop bodies, but to influence minds. The open space near the border was intentional. A psychological zone. A place where being seen meant being exposed. And exposure meant risk. That's why even emptiness here feels controlled, not free. Section 5. Why places like this stay with us. There is a reason why borders like this remain powerful long after they disappear. Because they represent something deeper. Not just division, but limitation. They remind us how quickly freedom can change, how suddenly movement can stop, and how easily systems can reshape reality. A border is just a line, until it isn't. Until it becomes something you cannot cross. So the question is, if a line appeared tomorrow and everything beyond it was suddenly unreachable, how long would it take before that became normal? If you want to understand how places affect the human mind in a different way, watch what happens inside abandoned cities.